spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Jesus is our source. He's the source of our hope. So if we give up on our hope, we give up on Jesus. Now, we cannot do it by ourselves. We can't live ourselves. Now, don't get me wrong now. We have to be careful of the words that we speak.
Yeah.
But Jesus paid the cost.
Yeah.
You know, my granny used to say, you got to pay the cost to be a father. But he paid the ultimate price for us. There's some scriptures that I want to lead me to read. I just, pray for my it's just so much. Out of Matthew chapter 10, I'm going to turn to that and read it. Matthew chapter 10, verse 22. It says, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endures to the end shall be saved. Our hope of our salvation, endurance, is one of the keys. We have to be willing to endure the trials and tribulations and the suffering that we go through. As we say, unpleasant trips. The stuff we don't want to go through with the flesh. We have to be willing to endure that because we know ultimately, as like you say, I got your back. God got our back. I just know that when I stepped into work, it was just amazing to me because I ain't gonna lie, I was like, Lord, I ain't been here a month. Why I look like trying to look for another job and I ain't been here? I ain't been here 30 days. That don't make no sense.
All right.
But as each day went by, the Lord shows us things.
Yes, it is.
Got the vice president of the company wanting to have a conference with me. Vice president of human resources. And I hadn't put my name on nobody's paper as a complaint. Nobody. There can be nobody but God.
Right.
But see, we have to also be aware that, when Satan knows he's beat already, but the thing is, he'll try to come at you in a different way. I didn't mean such and such. Well, I didn't mean da. But that still does not prevent us from telling the truth or from doing the right things. It was just amazing to me, looking at how the Rome, even though they committed so many bad acts, but still, as an example, here it is people who are pagan. And here we are Christians, already saved. Why do we not have, in the spirit, have the same mentality when it comes to doing what we need to do for the Lord? Those people were fearless. They were fearless in everything that they did. Now, true enough, because their spirit wasn't right, of course it didn't last long, let's say for eternity. But yet, we know that we have salvation.
That's right.
We know. But yet, still, at times, scared to speak the truth.
Lord.
Scared we're going to hurt somebody's feelings. Speaking the truth, if their feelings get hurt, that means you done told the truth. You done said what God meant for you to say. Because ultimately, He's the only one we have to answer to. We ain't got to answer to husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, kids, grandma, grandpa, supervisor, stranger on the street. We have to answer to God. And when we approach it in that sense, to me, that's what the Spirit was saying to me, a part of that hope of salvation. A few things that it gives us spiritual hope. I mean, when Abraham was about to sacrifice his one and only son, the very thing that God asked of him to give up, he did it. He was going to do it unconditionally. He didn't question. But look what happened. He was made a father of nations. We so scared of material things, giving up certain positions and when judgment day comes,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
see, we got to be proud. For example, I worked in the criminal justice field for a while in child protective services and things like that. And yes, we ought to honor our laws, don't get me wrong. But yet still, we also have to honor what God has told us to do. And we have, as Christians, allowed certain entities to come into our homes and tell us certain things that we're to do or not supposed to do. But yet still, when our children end up before that judge, what is that judge going to say? Well, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, so-and-so, where were you?
Oh, Lord.
You know, what did you tell them? How hypocritical has the world come? Dang if you do and you dang if you don't. Well, the best thing to do is do what God tells you to do when it comes to your family. One more point, and I know, you know, I appreciate y'all's patience. But when it comes to the hope, we have to understand that Jesus is the only Savior. You know, in Acts 15, verse 11, and God speaks that His grace is sufficient. We at times get so worried about, you know, what we're going through, that we have to realize that His grace is sufficient. Whatever we're going through, when we're going through the desert, what may appear to be the desert, His grace is sufficient. Amen. When the next thing you know, you see an oasis. We've been looking for some water, but we so worried about, I'm so thirsty. The next thing you know, it's there right there in front of you, and you miss it. But we must remember that as far as our helmet of salvation, our hope of salvation, what the Spirit is saying to me is, without that hope, how your feet gonna move right when God tells you to move right? Without that hope, how will you hear His word when you need to hear His word? Yes, He's talking to you, but without that hope, how you gonna listen to Him and do what He tells you to do? Without that hope, how is your heart going to be? What is it going to be alive? Is it going to be dead? If you lose your hope, how is your heart going to stay alive? How is your spirit going to stay alive? He is that foundation. That hope is that foundation. Without that hope in Him, how do we have the assurity of eternity? You have to believe. When those soldiers are out there in that field, can't nobody say that commanding officer is not encouraging them and motivating them to move on. It can be the same as when you're a team, when you are on a basketball team or a football team. That coach, yes, is that cheerleader, but they believe in what that coach is saying. We have to believe in what God and Jesus is saying to us. You can't just go along, I'm walking, I'm doing this, I'm fasting, I'm doing this, da. But if you ain't got it in your heart, what's the point of doing it? If you ain't trying to help folks because your Father commands you to and you love Him and you love helping people, then what's the point of doing it? Then you're going to be just like some of those folks when judgment day comes. But Lord, I was doing this and I was doing that in your name. But you didn't have the hope, the belief in Him. So He ain't going to know you. How is He going to know if you don't allow Him to stay inside of you? Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen. Very quickly, before we bring our last speaker up, we want to take a moment and receive an offering in the house.
Amen.